All right, y'all. We are here doing what Warren would like to call food plot for dummies. I didn't come up with a name. He's actually referring to himself as the dummy. Now, I'm not that intelligent, but I have done this a couple times, so we've figured out what to do and what not to do. And his idea is to show you guys a very simple step-by-step process for planting your food plots. So, step one. The very first thing you gotta do is you gotta identify your food plot, obviously. If you haven't cleared it out, you haven't done whatever, that's for another video. But we're assuming you got a field already. You're gonna do something with it. Step one is to kill it, okay? Now, the only time that you're not gonna be doing that first is if you look at our grass here, it's pretty open and it's not very tall. We got like 1.5 feet or a foot here of the tallest stuff. We're gonna get good coverage with spray, so we're not gonna have to worry about anything. So our first step is gonna be spray it. If yours is all tall and grown up and everything, it's like where it's higher than your sprayers and stuff, that's not gonna give you the best coverage when you go to spray it. So your first step should be mowing it. You're gonna mow it, get it all down and low and everything, then give it 5 to 7 days or something like that. Once you can see it's starting to grow again, then go spray it. But like I said, for our sake, we got this food plot. So the very first thing I always do is I do an area shape on my Onyx app, because what that's gonna do is it's going to tell me how many acres I'm about to spray or have to kill. And just like that, 0.5 acres. So we got a 1/2 acre food plot right here. Our chemical mixes, I'm gonna show you guys that. But we're gonna go up, we're gonna we actually filled the sprayer, but I'm gonna show you guys how to fill the sprayer in step 2 and what we use, how we do it, and how we spray it. So I've already shown you guys our food plot, how big it is and what our first step is. We've got it mapped out, everything like that. The chemical we use, you can use a lot of different things. It's just Buccaneer Plus. Sponsored by Buccaneer Plus. We're not actually sponsored by Buccaneer Plus, but it kills everything. So we are going to mix, 5 ounces. It's normally like 3 to 5. We always go on the heavy side. 5 ounces per gallon. And 1/2 acre, you need 15 gallons of spray per acre. My dog is dying in the process. And we have 1/2 acre food plot. So half of 15, 7.5. Okay, so we need 15 gallons per acre. It's a 1/2 acre food plot. 7.5 gallons is half of 15. So what's 7 times 5? 35. That means we need 35 ounces. And then 38.5 ounces is what we actually need. That was good mental math right there. So 38.5 ounces of Buccaneer Plus with 7.5 gallons of water. Let's do it. Now, this video is sponsored by Casey's. Your Midwest breakfast pizza central. Casey's. We're not sponsored by Casey's. But anyways, no, this is our measuring cup. As you can see, it goes to 32 ounces. So we're gonna have to do more than 1 cup because we need 38.5 ounces. So, there we go. You just stay in there, hose. Liquid death. Yeah, this is gonna kill everything. Isn't that gorgeous? Don't drink it. It's not good for you. Boom. Nice and easy. There she is. I always err on the heavy side too, because if anything, you just kill it harder. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's probably close to 7 gallons already. Okay, we've already done 10 gallons. So we've done too much, but it's okay. So basically, we just put in 7.5 gallons, 38.5 ounces of Buccaneer Plus, mixed it all in, to spray we go. All right, we've identified the food plot. We know that we need to spray it first, and we filled our sprayer up. So we're on step 2 completed. Step 3, spray the field. So we're gonna get out here, we're gonna spray this sucker, This thing will do whatever your sprayer is, whatever you're using, just see how far it's gonna go or how far it's gonna spray. This one does about 20 feet, honestly. And so we'll go do a pass, come back, come back, come back, keep going back and forth till we cover it all. One tip that I do, I track myself on Onyx just to make sure I don't have an $800,000 combine with 17 different gadgets and everything in there that says, oh, you need to do this still. So I'm not rich. I'm gonna use Onyx. So track myself so I know that I've covered everything. Check it at the end. Golden, golden, off to the next step. So with that being said, let's spray. Quick tip, when you're driving, whether it's your mule, four-wheeler tractor, or you're walking, that's a whole nother story. But I only go like 3 to 4 miles an hour. You wanna make sure that you're covering it good. So don't go too fast, otherwise you ain't gonna get enough coverage. All right, we've done step 1 in completion. We have identified our food plot, we've done the mixtures, we know how much the mixtures and everything, and we've sprayed our food plots. Step 2 is gonna be when we come through and we till everything. So this food plot, we've already sprayed it. It's pretty close to, hasn't been about 10 days, but I started doing it once it started browning. So it started dying already. Went through, tilled, broke up the ground. I've hooked up our small one, our small ferminator that will go through here, and I'll get this where it's evened out a little bit better, where everything's been pretty well tore up on top. And then this field specifically is gonna be a clover field. So I'm not super concerned on getting it where it's perfect dirt. All I need is it to be pretty clean. I'll get this tilled and everything. We'll go through here and then I'll show you guys our step 3 on what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it, because the clover plot is pretty easy. There's not a whole lot of upkeep to it, and it looks good, the deer like it. What more could you ask for? So this is a pretty good example of what I'm looking for. It's a little more difficult to do this task specifically with that small little guy and how I want it to look. But if you guys look here, in this lane that I just went through, it's pretty clean. You've got decent digging basically going through here, and that cultipacker you can see is clean over top, versus when you go over here, it's gonna be hard to see, but now we have all these big ridges and chunks and clumps and everything. We are looking for this smoothness right here, like this, and we'll come through, do the whole thing multiple times probably to get it nice, all even like this. We'll broadcast, and then we can probably, I'll show you guys what we'll do for step 4. We'll either use a harrow or just the packer, if not both. So this is a good setting. We're gonna start cruising around here and get this whipped out. Step 3, we've got all this stuff good and ready to roll. It's seeding time. We're doing clover, and there's all kinds of different clover. 90% of it is super easy to grow. My preference, what I wanted to put here, if you like to look at something that's pretty and it's cheap, is crimson clover, but it's a little harder to get. So tonight, or today, we're using some leftover 2 different blends of clover mix. There's a bunch of different kinds of clover in it, and we're gonna overseed a little bit, because clover, you don't have to worry too much about competing with each other. I'd rather have more seed than I need than not enough. So I've got a ½ acre bag and then a ¼ acre bag. This is a ½ acre field right here. So we're doing a ¼ extra seed, but that's just gonna mix it in there. And since I'm using this, I'm probably not gonna be as accurate either. So I'm just gonna use that. We're gonna do a little bit extra, overseed a little bit, and hopefully we'll have ourselves a real nice, luscious, clean, good looking clover plot that we can observe our deer in. Before you do that, you should probably make sure it's closed. I don't know how Dad's closes. Oh, here we go. There. I was leaking seed. And clover seed is, as you can tell, very small. So you're gonna have to set your seeder to one of your smallest settings, most likely. All right, so right here, what I was just talking about with you guys, this little guy is gonna be what adjusts how much I'm putting out. You'd rather put less out and have to walk over it again than put way too much out and not have it covered good. So we're going to start real small. That might not even open enough. No, we'll go a little more. Stuff's so small, you're going to want to do it small increments. There we go. There we go. Let's try that. That's pretty good, but we could probably do a little bit more. There we go. Now, just walk around and have fun. All right, we're seated. That's step 3. If you guys want to look, you're not gonna be able to see it, but don't overthink it too much. You're not gonna be able to see just seed laying everywhere. So there's probably a seed every couple inches, which is more than like your corn or beans, things like that. But clover, you want it to grow in together. So we should be golden on step 4. Step 4, we are here, and now we've got seed in the ground or on the ground. We need to get it covered up a little bit with some dirt. So we are going to use what you call a harrow. Behind me, you will see this just goes behind. It's like a big comb for the ground. And we've got a row tie on it because that's what keeps it a little heavier. So without further ado, what we're going to do basically is we'll go through here with this on here. I'll do that, and once I get going on it, we may even have Warren get on the tractor and we'll set that ferminator to where it's just packing basically, and he'll go through, do a couple passes after I've spread out the dirt and everything. So if you don't have a tractor, you don't have a cultipacker, and you don't have a 4-wheeler, it's okay because there's still ways. So if you need to cover your dirt up or anything, you can simply, if you go spread your dirt like that, you could either use a vehicle. We've used that before. You just got to cover your tracks basically. You're packing it down with each tire. Takes a little bit longer, but if you don't have the access to the equipment, it is worth it. It does work. So you don't have to have all these little things here and there to get stuff done. So let's get her going. Boom. Well, that does her. That's step 4 right there. So that is another good tip for you guys. A harrow, if you're you don't have much at all to be able to, you don't want to spend a bunch of money, you don't have a bunch of implements, things like that. If you have a 4-wheeler, a harrow can get you by because you're able to spray. You can either put a sprayer on the 4-wheeler, you could get a backpack sprayer and spray your fields, and then a harrow, you can put weight on them and you can actually dig up the dirt a little bit better and then use it to pack over and everything too. So if you had to get one tool, that would be one of mine. I mean, you're gonna need something to spread your seed, and then you're gonna need something like some weight and stuff to put on the harrow, and then a sprayer, obviously, whether it goes on your 4-wheeler or it goes on your back, whatever. Things might just take a little bit longer doing it without larger equipment. So step 4 is finished. We've got seed in the ground, we got it covered up. Just for the sake of, we got some rain on the way, I want to have it sealed decently, the top of the ground, so it doesn't wash out. So I'll have Warren with the ferminator on the big tractor cultipack this behind me on this one already, and I'm probably going to go, and we don't use the harrow as much as we probably should, so I'm probably going to actually go check one of our other bare plots that do not have weeds or anything on it really, and see if I can't just get it ready to go with that instead. So that's step 4. After that, we might show you guys some tips, things like that I do, just upkeep for your different plots and everything. So there's a simple 4-step process, anything a couple acres, that's what we're doing. So hopefully this helps you guys. That is Raised Hunting's food plot specialist. idea, intent thing. Hope it helps.